episode 17. Welcome back, everyone. We're working on the second tower here. It's about half done. That's the original tower. And we're running a little low on materials. I don't have enough to finish this. But we're up this high, and it's about time to now remove this water, because we're going to replace it in its new location. That was pretty close. So let's just get rid of all this here. I wish, actually now, before I remove this glass, why can't I aim? What is going on? Before I remove all this glass, I'm going to borrow a Silk Touch pick from one of the guys, because there's no sense putting all this glass to waste. So that will be on hold, and I'll finish the tower soon. Well, maybe. The thing that we're running out of is actually dirt, which is weird. Alright, go away, water. Let's watch it fall. It goes pretty slow. That's a lot of updating. But updating, speaking of, I got the pumpkins below some leaves here, so they don't look so bright, and it's got a good pattern to it, where the grass is alive and where it's dead. So I think I'll have to move them together more, but it definitely saves the grass. So I'll put in a few of these. So like I said, instead of every 3 apart, they'll be every 2 apart. And then we'll have some pretty lights with some grass. It's looking pretty good. I'm also going to do a row of lights under here. So that's that. It looks really different now. This is interesting. So these are our supplies over here, and this is all the dirt we have left, which is enough to do about 2 layers. And we have 6 layers done. I think there's another 5 to go. So we're gonna need some more dirt. Maybe I'll clear out some of this, make it more natural looking as opposed to just a straight wall. Let me get some stuff going and we'll go up top. So here we are working on the next level, and today that I'm recording this is the Americans' 4th of July. So I made an annotation in yesterday's video saying, thumbs up to you guys. But I was thinking, it's really hot out, and if you didn't know, I am Canadian, so I live just north of you guys. But my question to Americans is, you guys don't have a Humidex. You guys don't know what that is, to my knowledge, because I've posted in comments on other videos about a Humidex, and I get replies like, what the hell is a Humidex? Well, a Humidex is basically what the temperature feels like. It's the temperature plus the humidity. So today, outside right now, in our Celsius scale, it's 32 degrees, which I converted, and it's 90 in Fahrenheit. But the thing is, it's so humid out that it feels like 43 or 44, which in your American system is 111 degrees. But I notice when I watch other YouTubers and they say how hot it is, they'll say, oh, it's like 90 degrees out today. But it's not. It's like so much hotter that you guys don't include what it actually feels like. You just say the temperature. So maybe you guys can leave me a comment, like what state you're in, and do you guys use a Humidex, or how does it work? Because all I know is it's way too hot outside to do anything. Thank God for air conditioning. Now, I'll finish this up, then maybe talk about something else. We're now completely out of dirt. Yay. And we got 2.5 levels to go, so that's not too bad. Let's see. Alright. Yeah, that's a long drop. That's why this pool is so big. It's like 4x4, just to be safe, because I've missed it when it was 2x2, so that was not cool. Now, in a couple videos ago, I asked you guys to post some questions for me to talk about, stuff like that, because I always complain about having nothing to say. Well, one of the questions, I'm sort of saving them up, so I'm not going to answer them all right away, but I'm sort of like stockpiling them, so I can answer them at some point later. But one of the questions was, I'll think about it, hold on. Oh, it was like, what's your favorite building that you've ever done, sort of thing? Like, what's your favorite or the coolest building you've ever done? And I thought about it, and here, hopefully, if I still have the save file and it's not corrupted or anything, I'll just cut to that. Some of you might have seen this already, but this is my favorite build that I built on a server a while ago. It's deep underground at level 34 here. This is my house, wheat farm, pumpkins, melons, nice sky, pumpkin floor for lighting. This is my brewing area, my library, your selection mode. This is, looks like something broke here. There used to be a door. Is that still closed? Yeah. So this is a cave spider spawner that I built right into my house. And if I close that, it turns off all the lights and they start spawning. So anyway, that's just a classic spider spawner. Here's where you chop them. Whoops. I'm in creative mode, so I just broke something. Here you go down here, collect their experience and crap. Then over here was all of my chest area. I think it's all been cleared out or moved, I don't know. Up here was the bedroom. We got this here. Plays the Zelda theme. Basically that is linked up to, there's some redstone, and that is linked up to the basement here, where there's a slime chunk. And so down here as slimes would spawn, and I'd be up in my house doing whatever, a slime would come across and jump on one of these pressure plates, which would trigger the sound, so I'd know they'd be down here. So this is basically my favorite build that I've ever done, just because it looks really cool. At the time I'd never seen anything like it before. We got cows over here, because you need milk when you get poisoned by these stupid guys. So that's my favorite creation. I had something going on back here, but that didn't work out very well. But now I'm going to show you, I think, the biggest creation I've made. So this too was created on the server, vanilla. I created it in secret. There's a pathway here which goes from one town to another, and I built this fake hill so that anybody walking down the path wouldn't see what's going on over here. Hold on, I can't set the time. But anyway, this is it. So it's all vanilla, 100% built. It took a hell of a lot of work, but I love how it looks. It's just so massive. So that's the biggest thing I ever built, I think, as I recall, and I showed you the coolest thing I ever built. But if you want to see more, I'll put a link here which will open up a video in a new window. This is an application video that I made for BOO when he was accepting applications for his build server. Needless to say, I didn't get in, but it's a good compilation of a lot of stuff that I've built. Epic, cool, whatever. So you can check that out. And now, I'm just, well, you know what I'm doing. Putting down pumpkins, building up the lighting. We're going to have to do something shortly that's going to result in more dirt, and I don't know what that is yet. But I was just collecting some pumpkins, and I thought, you know what I need to do is I need to spend some time in the experience grinder and enchant a new pickaxe. It's like I said, we were thinking about borrowing Silk Touch to break all that glass, but I'm going to need a new pick soon anyway. This one's getting close to being dead. So we'll do that now and enchant a new pickaxe. So here we are, level 43. I'm not going to say anything to jinx it. I'm just clicking it. What do we get? Yay. Oh well. What are you going to do? Let me decide what I'm going to do next, because I'm just about to eat supper. So I'll be back. So during supper, I decided to just stay in the spawner. And then I watched some YouTube videos. And then I did some other stuff. And now I'm back. So we're going to enchant this pickaxe, and we're still hoping for some silk touch. As I recall, that's what we were doing. Come on, don't make me jump cut. Aha, victory. Alright, level 43, here we go. Wow, that's the greatest thing ever. We can just stop playing now. We achieved the ultimate achievement. Anyway, we'll get back to work out on this tower. I think I'll just finish that up real quick. And maybe I'll just break this glass for the hell of it anyway. Alright, I'll see you up there. We're just putting on the actual top layer of this thing, which is awesome. And I had a conversation, not a conversation, but a little comment back and forth. And somebody suggested, if you recall, I wanted to put some vines at the bottom of this thing to reset the mob's drop speed so they don't die on impact. And I'm like, oh, that's a great idea, to put vines and then put a button under it so that the vines don't grow. That was really good. But then I realized that I don't really use these to kill mobs anymore. I just use it for gunpowder. So there's no point to any of that. So thanks for the idea, and it's a perfect idea, but I just don't need it. Now, the other thing I noticed is that this is not centered. There's like 5... I'll just go down there. Hold on. I'm always afraid that it's going to be in the wrong spot. But there's like 5 pumpkins on the left here, and there's 4 pumpkins on the right, and there's 2 squares here. So I think I'm going to rip this all out too, remove the whole pathway, and actually center it, because that will make a difference later on, because you always want things to be centered. And I didn't have to do too much more to find any more materials, but that's all this dirt I have in any chest that I own. So luckily there's a whole bunch in the base under there. So let me rip this out, and maybe we'll put the water back in. That sounds like an exciting plan. Hold on. That's right, we're moving the walkway over 2 spaces, but it has to be done. That also means we need to move this over 2 spaces, and I'm assuming that if I move another portal over 2, it will just reconnect to this correct one in the nether. I guess we'll find that out in a second. I also, lately I've understood more about how the portals work in the nether. What am I looking for here? Basically, you know, sometimes it's hard to follow a pattern and think at the same time. Basically, in the portal, in the nether, a portal will disconnect to the closest one to it in the overworld. So, it should be all good. I rope this down, move it. It will work just fine. Even with efficiency 3, this stuff ain't too easy to break. Alright, this is done. Nice and centered. Let's light it up and see where we end up. Yeah, it's all good. Alright, let's harvest some of this stuff. You know, it's funny. It's like most stuff in this game. When you're first beginning, you really need it. You're like, oh, I need reeds. Oh, I need this. I need that. You know, but then you get so much of it, you're like, I have as much as I'll ever need. It's like nether wart. You know, you go searching and searching for it, you only find it in little bits. You get your farm going, you're waiting and waiting for it to grow. Now it's like, I got stacks of this stuff. They need to make, like, that's pretty cool. There's a lot of mobs in those towers. They need to make something that requires, like, a lot of things to make. My English and talking is just failing today. But like that tower, that took a lot of resources. But there needs something to be like craftable that, you know, that's complex, needs a lot of stuff. Anyway, train of thought back on track. Need to put some torches up there. And I'll fix this pumpkin situation. That's the scoop. Okay, the pumpkins are all set. The grass is growing back. Now I need to prepare for the water to come down. And as you recall, I like that little pattern that it had. Let's see. It's hard to explain, but basically it will fall straight down to here, and it's going to just be contained in this little chute. Then what we'll do is, I think it goes like this. So once that's the water sitting in there, we'll break this. The water will flow down and spread out, and then we'll basically break all these blocks. So first we'll break this set so the water falls straight down into the trough, and then we'll break everything else so the water won't just spread everywhere. So it's going to be a lot of temporary building, but whatever. I've been putting down blocks for hours and hours. Got no issues with it. So we need to make the little walkway, the little glass hut for where we walk through. And if you have not noticed, the rest of this video did not capture any audio. I apparently forgot to tell Fraps to record my microphone. So this will be a post commentary from here on out. Removing these blocks so that mobs don't spawn on it, and we almost fell to our death. The rest of the removal process went off without a hitch. We went up to the top, started laying out the spot where the water will go, and then we encased it with glass so that the water doesn't spill over the edge. Luckily, we didn't fall off, because this would have definitely have killed us. I was having a hard time with the ladders here, so as you can see, the glass that holds back the water now prevents us from climbing upwards. So I was trying to figure out a system of how to get up, and it didn't work out so well. Like, what do I do now? And I almost fall at some point. But I eventually figured out just to move the ladders over from this side over to the other side, and then we can shuffle step over to the top. Then I dangerously walk along the edge of the glass, filling up the trough of water. Nothing happened. I mean, the good thing is I recorded everything, so if I did fall to my death, we could all point and laugh at me, but that didn't happen. But I can talk about the simplicity of it, just putting in water. We break all the dirt, that releases the water. That all falls down. I quickly jump into the water drop so we can see it fall. It looks pretty cool, I gotta admit that. Then I fix this hole here, and then I create the glass hut. I don't even know what to call this. Tunnel? I guess it would be a tunnel. So that looks like it works out pretty good. Then I removed all the dirt that made the awesome water pattern. I don't know if it's awesome, but the pattern that I liked. Filled in this little area so there's no water spilling over. It looks pretty cool, except for that stupid glass, which we will get rid of hopefully soon. Now the thing that I noticed is that when I remove the dirt, there's a line of dirt, no grass. So we'll have to get, once we get that silk touch to remove the glass up top, we'll get some grass, fill that in there. Now here's the situation with the side. I want to get rid of the mountain, like not the mountain, but the dirt there. And so I try to get a good pattern going, but it took me forever to work it out. You see me, I'm ripping stuff out, putting stuff back, the water isn't flowing right. I finally got it so that there's no more dirt. It's nice and flat, and the water just sort of pours into the little side there. So I'm sorry about the stupid audio. I will double and triple check that in the future. So this post commentary is what it is. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next episode with real commentary, real live commentary. See you later.